Shalom, Mashpuka. Yashar'al, there's an awakening happening, and most people don't understand where do we go from this awakening. Why is the Most High awakening us? We don't understand, why He's waking us up. And this message will show. It's going to show you why He's waking us up. He didn't wake us up for nothing. He didn't wake us up to tell everybody, "Oh, we're Yashar'al, we're the chosen, we're the people of the Scripture." That wasn't His intention. He awakened His people for a mission, and this is what you're going to get. We have to show these nations. We're going to have to show them. We're going to have to make them understand that Yashar'al, we are their leaders. And if they don't follow, they will be in trouble. Jumping right into this, Proverbs 1. I'm going to start at the second verse. To know wisdom and instructions. We need to know wisdom and instructions to perceive the words of understanding, receive the instructions of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. To give prudence to the simple. We have to give prudence to the simple. Most people are simple. Before we were awakened, we were in Christianity, most of us, and we were simple. We were simple people. No matter what, if you're in a religion, you're simple. This is what it's saying. Verse 7, we should know this. The fear of Yahuah is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. This is why many people come, when they hear the word that come from this channel, they always have something negative to say. They hate the Most High. They hate instructions. They hate wisdom. And it's unbelievable how much that they can hate knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Verse 8, my son, hear the instructions of your father. The Most High is about to give you instructions. When He said my son, He's saying my son and my daughters, hear the instructions of your father. And do not forsake the Torah of your mother. All right, Psalms 25 and 22. There's something wrong with Yashar'al. Yashar'al is in trouble. Psalms 25:22. Redeem Yashar'al, Yahuah, out of all their troubles. So this is letting us know Yashar'al is in some trouble. And Yashar'al, if Yashar'al don't make a move, and we're going to see this move. We've been talking about this move. Yashar'al don't make a move, then troubles is at the door. It's called Jacob's troubles, Yaakov's trouble. Deuteronomy 10:12 through 16. And now Yashar'al, what does Yahuah, your Elohim, require of you? This is what He requires. But to fear Yahuah, your Elohim, to walk in all His ways, and to love Him, to serve Yahuah, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your soul, and to keep the commandments of Yahuah and His statutes, which I command you today for your good. We keep the commandments for our good. Indeed, heaven and the highest heavens belongs to Yahuah, our Elohim. Also the earth, with all that is in it. Yahuah delight only in your fathers, to love them. The Most High delighted in our fathers. He loved them. He loved us when we keep His commandments. And He chose their descendants after them. You above all people. Now, many of the camps, they bring this out. He chose Yashar'al above all people. Yes, He chose Yashar'al above all people. But they don't tell us why. Why did He do this? What was the purpose of this? And He just going to kick the gooey to the curb? And this is how the teacher's teaching this. And this is incorrect. Just because He chose Yashar'al above all people, it was for a reason. We're about to see this reason. As it is this day. Therefore, circumcise the foreskin of your heart and be stiff-necked no longer. Scripture tells us we're the most stiff-necked people, and we are. We are stiff-necked. We will fight against truth. It's unbelievable how stiff-necked we are. Deuteronomy 28:1. Now it shall come to pass, if you diligently obey the voice of Yahuah, your Elohim, to observe carefully all His commandments. We have to observe carefully all His commandments, not one being undone. We have to observe carefully. And many of them is dealing with being things we have to do within the land. And we can't overlook this, because someone pushed us away from the land. And we are to be operating in the land. We can't observe carefully all his commandments to do them when many of them is dealing with being within his land. We have to change our mindset, which I command you today, that Yahuah Elohim shall set you high above all nations of the earth. He has set Yashar'al above all nations of the earth. This is a fact. No one can deny it. Gooey, hold on tight. Don't feel bad. Don't feel like you on the bottom and Yashar'al is at the top. It's a reason why he done what he did. Deuteronomy 14:2. For you are Kadash people to Yahuah Elohim, and Yahuah has chosen you to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the people who are on the face of the earth. This is above all people that is on the face of the earth. Why did the Most High do this? Why did he make Yashar'al the leader? Why? Why did he do this? Why? What is the purpose? What did Yashar'al have to do? Deuteronomy 7:6-14. For you are Kadash people to Yahuah Elohim. Yahuah Elohim has chosen you to be a people for himself. He chose this people to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the people on the face of the earth. Here we sing in Torah, it's repeating itself. Yahuah did not set his love on you, nor chose you because you were more in number than other people, for you were the least of all peoples. He chose this people because they were the least. There were more people than the seed of our forefather Abraham. But because Yahuah loves you, and because he would keep the oath which he swore to your fathers, this is what it's about. This is why he chose this seed. Because of our forefather Abraham, Yahuah has brought you out with a mighty hand, redeemed you from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Therefore, know that Yahuah Elohim, he is the mighty one. He is the righteous, Amunah, almighty, Shadi, who keeps covenant and mercy for 1,000 generations. This means this covenant is forever and ever. That's what this 1,000 generation is. With those who love him and keep his commandments. It's only for those who love him and keep his commandments. And he repaid those who hate him. Here it is. Watch out for you that hate him. To their face. He repaid them to their face to destroy them. He will destroy. You hate him. There's a lie that say he loves everybody. No. He repaid those who hate him, and he will destroy them. He will not be slack with him who hates him. He will repay him to his face. Therefore you shall keep the commandments, the statutes, and judgment, which I command you today to observe them. We have to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Then it shall come to pass, because you listen to these judgments and keep and do them. You see, there's a lie going around that said we can't keep them. It was too difficult. It was too hard. There was something wrong with the Torah, the commandments. And, that's why we got another covenant. That Yahuah, your Elohim, will keep with you the covenant and with mercy, which he swore to your fathers. And he will love you and barak you and multiply you. You see this? He will multiply you. Here's the multiplication. Here is the be fruitful and multiply. He never meant for us to not marry. The wicked one wants us to not marry. And when we do this wicked thing by not marrying, not reproducing, not being fruitful and multiplying, if everyone do this, Yashar'al dies out. Yashar'al become extinct. And this is what the enemy wants for Yashar'al. This is the enemy's plan for Yashar'al. But remember the Most High plans for Yashar'al. He told Abraham that he would make his seed like the sand of the sea. He would multiply him like the stars in Shamayim. So you understand? He wanted us to multiply. Watch this. He will also barak the fruit of your womb. Wait a minute. I thought it's more kadosh. Look at this. I thought it's more kadosh for us not to marry. Someone says it's more kadosh not to marry. But if we can't abstain ourselves, then marry. But here the Most High telling us He's barak the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land. Here we go. I told you before. If He barak the fruit of our land, if He heal our land, what good is it going to do us when we are in these nations scattered amongst Gui? We can't enjoy the baraking on the land. Gui will enjoy the baraking that's on the land. And you see, He's not going to do this unless we are in this land. This is the importance of being within His borders. Your grain and your new wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the offspring of your flock, in the land which He swore to your fathers to give you. Never forget the promise. You shall be barak above all people. Until this point, you see, He can't barak us above all people when we refuse to come out of these lands we're being held captive in. He can't do this. He can't set you above, but they're in the lands of captivity trying to proclaim we're the chosen. We're the top. We're on the top when you're still on the bottom, when you stay in these wicked lands, because you're not heeding the voice of the Most High and you have not feared Him. So it says, you shall be barak above all people. There shall not be a male or female. There shall not be a male or female barren. It sounds to me like He want you to multiply. It sounds to me like this is the voice of the Almighty. It sounds to me like He want you to be fruitful. He want your womb to be fruitful. He want the man's seed to be fruitful and multiply. This is righteousness. This is kadosh. Think about it. All of the most kadosh. You have Louis, the most kadosh. They multiplied. They wasn't supposed to stay from among not being married. They multiplied. So it says, not a male nor female barren among you or among your livestock. Not only us, but the livestock also. It's unbelievable how we can believe someone else over the Most High. Isaiah 49, 6 and 7. Indeed, He says, is it a small thing? Look at this. Is it too small of a thing that you should be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to preserve and to restore the preserved ones? He is in the process of preserving, restoring these preserved ones of Yashar'al. He says, I will also give you as a light to Gui. This is the reason He placed us high above the other people. He's saying He will give Yashar'al as a light to Gui, that you should be my salvation to the ends of the earth. Now, is He telling us we have to run to the ends of the earth? Is He telling us to go in all the world, in all the earth? No, He is not. We will be the light. The people, Gui, in all these nations, they will see the light. We're telling everyone, the righteous, only the righteous, only those the Most High have opened their eyes to a deeper understanding, not just open their eyes to who we are, but a deeper understanding of what we are to do, our instructions. And the Most High is giving this group that's within the borders, that's listening, He's given them a deeper insight of what we should be doing. And the ones that's on the outside, that's not hearkening to His voice, He's not dealing with them on a certain level. It goes to a point and then it stops. Why? Because they refuse to heed the voice of the Almighty. He is not playing. He means business, and we think He is playing with us. So it says, thus says Yahuah, the Redeemer of Yashar'al, their holy, the Kadosh one. This is what the Most High says. To Him whom man despises, here we go, and Him whom the nation abhors,